All right, don't bet on football. It's a bad idea. Yeah.
What do you bet on?
Nothing. I work too hard for my money to lose at betting. I don't have enough of it. Okay, Jose. So, forgive my sloppy handwriting. My hands are really sore and beat up because I was working on my truck all weekend. That's why they're all ugly. See, they're like super feo. Oh, yeah. Feo. Anyway, we have to solve this both ways. The reason we have to do it both ways, by factoring first and using the quadratic formula second, is because that's what the instructions say to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw right down the middle, because we're going to do the factoring first on the left. We're going to use the quadratic formula second on the right. Okay. So 2x squared minus 9x minus 5 equals 0. It says that it's factorable, so it must be. What are the factors? So definitely 2x for sure, and x, because that's the only way you can make 2x squared. The question is, where's the 5 go? Does it go here, or does it go there? And the second one? Okay, now you check the oi, right? This is just a guess, we're not for sure. You check the oi, look at the outside makes 10, the inside makes 1, correct? And you need it to be a 9 by subtracting, and it has to be a negative 9. So, is that right? Is that right? Okay. So now you take each factor and you set them equal to 0, because what it says right here is it says you have two numbers and their product is 0 because they're multiplying. So then either this one equals 0 or this one equals 0. Right, Michelle? That was a good yawn. I was like, wow. Wow. You sucked all the oxygen out of the room. If there was a fire started right before that, you would have just put it out. Like, no more oxygen. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, so here, are you guys good with negative 1/2? Yes. And here, x equals 5? I have a suspicion that there's still some people in here that don't know why that's a negative 1/2. And as soon as I tell them why, they're going to hear wah, 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 wah. Because it's the same words I'll have said before.
Don't you subtract 1?
Right, because you subtract 1 and divide by 2. But if you don't understand why that's negative 1/2, then you need to find out. Okay? Wah, 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 wah. So those are our two solutions. Those are our x-intercepts. They're our roots. They are our zeros. Right? All those words mean the same thing. This is where the parabola will cross the x-axis, if you were to graph it. Okay? Okay, next one. Quadratic formula. So we got 2x squared minus 9x minus 5 equals 0. First time. So we're going to use x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, that whole thing divided by 2a. Miguel, have you ever used this formula before? No. Jose, have you ever used this formula before? How about Hector? Has Hector ever used this formula? No. So one thing you got to be careful of. So this would be a rookie mistake. That 2a is dividing the entire numerator. So if you're going to reduce, like when you're all done, then each of these terms in the numerator would have to have a common factor with 2a. Or you'd have to add all of that together before you divide. Okay? Order of operations. This is a group. Alright. So first thing you want to do is you want to figure out what are your a, b, and c equal to. So Anna, what is a equal to here? 2. That's why you're my favorite student. And let's see here. Daniel, what is b equal to? Negative 9. And then c, is c negative 5? Yep. Hey, what's the y-intercept? Negative 5. Okay. So look, all you got to do is plug everything in. So do you see why I put parentheses right there? Do you see why I did that? Because it's a negative 9, and even though 9 is negative, there's the minus sign right there. It's negative 1 times b is what that means. So be really, really careful. Yeah, yeah? You sure? So that's really going to be a positive 9, right? Yeah, it's a negative because there's a negative sign right there. And then, yeah. Okay. Plus or minus the square root of negative 9 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 5. That whole entire thing divided by 2 times 2. How are we doing? Yeah? So, at first, when it's new, and this is new for you guys, just be really careful. Take your time setting it up. Don't get in a hurry. Take your time. Remember? Whoa. Don't hurt yourself sitting in a chair. See, that's another, yeah, you just got to be careful with everything. Math is like dating, remember? You got to take your time. That way you don't rush in, do something dumb, get your feelings hurt. All your friends are like, see, you're such an idiot, I told you so. Right? There's one freshman girl right now who has a real piece of crap boyfriend, and I was telling her about it. She's so mad at me, she won't talk to me. She should stop talking to her boyfriend instead. Eventually, and this is going to happen, she's going to come and apologize for being rude to me and thank me for telling her that her boyfriend is worthless. Yeah, yeah, you see. Yes, sir. No. All right. Now, let's see here. Minus -9, that's plus 9, right? Okay. 81 plus 40. Is that right? Do you see where I got 40?
Yes.
That's 40, isn't it?
Yes.
Because that would be 20 times 2 divided by 4. Is that good? Hey, my answers better be this when I'm done, or I did it wrong. Correct? My answers better be -1/2, +5. Otherwise, I messed up. Okay? So, is that 121? Yeah, so this would now be x equals 9 plus or minus the square root of 121 divided by 4. George, tell me something that you know about the square root of 121. It is 11. Correct. 9 plus or minus 11 divided by 4. Here's where people get in trouble. Where crap?
I put square root of 11.
Oh yeah, no, just 11, yeah, right. Gabe, here's how I do it so I don't mess up. I draw two arrows. That way I keep track that I have to add once and subtract once. So like the plus is 9 plus 11 divided by 4. The minus is 9 minus 11 divided by 4. Right? Yeah? I think that 9 plus 11 is famously known as 20, and you have to simplify and reduce, and that's 5. Yeah? And here, that's -2 divided by 4. You're going to reduce, and you get -1/2. Same, good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like this.
Now, you hated this a minute ago there, Cam Newton. No, you were just complaining for no reason. I know.
That was so stupid.
All right. So, listen. One second. Here's the thing. I don't want you guys to have the false impression that this is what the answers usually look like. When they look like this, that means that the problem, the quadratic, was factorable. And if it didn't say to use the quadratic formula, you would always try to factor first. Always try to factor first. Because there's so many mistakes you can make with the formula. There's tons of mistakes to make. So usually your fractions or your answers are going to have irrational numbers, like the square root of 13 or whatever, and you have to use a calculator. Most of the time it doesn't work out like this. But this time it did, and yeah. All right. What's your question, Lauren? You have to talk louder because I cannot hear you at all. Yeah, when the bell rings.